Hey guys, so we're doing a battle royale versus battle this time. It's not just going to be a one-on-one. It's going to be 4 different contestants, and Pavano's here with me.
Yeah, what's up, guys?
So we're going to talk a little bit about each of the gods. First one we have is Osiris, and I'm going to let Pavano talk because that's one of the ones he picked.
Yeah. All right. So we have Osiris, the Egyptian god of the Nile and death and the underworld, and just about everything that's not
Just
the
everything.
sun.
Well, he used to be the king. He used to be the old king of the Egyptian gods.
Right. God of transition, resurrection, and regeneration. So typically shown as a green-skinned deity with a pharaoh's beard, partially mummy-wrapped at the legs, and wearing a distinctive crown. I can't remember what they're called. The 2 large ostrich feathers on either side, and his crooked flail, which I've always called him an Ankh, but I guess it's not that.
Yeah, I think Ankh is the proper term for Egyptian.
That's what I thought it was. So there's 2 different versions for the Egyptian gods. There's the ancient lore and then the more modernized one that most people know. So there's 2 different stories for Osiris. First has him as the son of Geb, and the other one has him as the son of the sun god Ra and the sky goddess Nut, as well as being brother and husband of Isis. And yeah, pretty big family. They're all kind of really tied together. I don't know why he married his sister, but
Most gods do.
I know, it's so weird. So with Osiris, he's definitely one of the most innately magical gods in the fight. Very little warrior skills. The only fight that he was in with another god was when his brother Set killed him. I think that's going to be a major disadvantage, which kind of sucks because going into this, he was my pick to win.
Well, yeah, because he could have. It could be like he's fought a god, so he knows how to fight a god.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's that thing, like whenever you're in a fight with someone, if you have like another fight with that same person, if they beat you, you have in the back of your head, you're like, well, can I beat that?
Like your confidence is shook. Fortunately, none of the ones he fought is in this battle.
No. That'll be for a later situation.
Right. Next up, we have Hades, one of Phantom's.
Yeah, Hades. I like the Greek mythology, so I picked this. Hades as one of the ones I'd talk about. He's one of the oldest of the Greek gods. He's one of the original 3, the big 3, I think it's called. And it's him, Poseidon, and Zeus. He was the last one to get regurgitated by Kronos after Zeus freed him. And then him and his brothers defeated the Titans, and they had this huge war against them. And he really didn't have a choice in the matter. Zeus and Poseidon kind of kicked him into the underworld as being that was his dominion. And Hades doesn't really like it. He's kind of depressed the fact that like all the gods get to go to Olympus and hang out, and he's stuck down in the underworld ferrying souls, and that it's like a full-time job. He doesn't get to take a day off.
Mm-hmm. And it kind of really plays into his personality a little bit. Not really violent unless he's angry.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think this would necessarily be the best showcase for him, but he's in here and he's cool and I like it.
Yeah, so and he has a kind of like a spear with 2 prongs on the end, kind of like a pitchfork type of thing. So he could use that in the fight. I don't think it's a godly weapon. I think it's just a weapon he chooses to use.
Right.
And everything I looked up, Hephaestus did not make it for him, so it's just a weapon that he carries around. So
well, the other 2 got a pointy weapon, so he wanted one. So
he's like, I want something. You have a trident and you have the master bolt. I want a pick thingy.
Right, I want something with points on the end. Thing I noticed with Hades is a lot of his stuff or his offensive abilities don't really come into play here because you're looking at the same type of magic. Again, not a lot of fighting skills. And
yeah, Hades doesn't really fight.
No. He's also been invested by demigods and gods. And he's lost a lot.
Although one thing he could put into the fight, he has a dog. He has a pet dog. He has Cerberus that he can just summon.
Yeah, pet dog.
So, since he can summon that at will out of nothing, that could play a part in the fight.
Yeah.
They'll all be fighting, and then suddenly there's a giant 3-headed dog in front of them.
Right. A giant Hydra-looking dog.
Yeah, he's big. He's really big. The next one we have is Hel, which is Norse mythology. Hel is kind of a split personality disorder goddess. because she has her nice side where she has like the white hair or blonde hair. She's really pretty and really sweet and tries to help people. And then she's got like her, I don't know, her time of the month god mode. Because she gets all black and dark, and that version of hell is what brings about Ragnarok, which, for those of you who know about the Norse mythology, that's basically Armageddon for Odin and all the other gods.
It's the apocalypse. You're just going to breeze by what you just said?
What?
Her
Yeah.
time of the month god mode?
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
So, she has immense power. Like, she's up there in the strength of the Norse gods. She's strong enough that she can barehanded stop other gods' weapons. I don't know if she can stop Odin's spear, because that thing hits no matter what. But I do know that on a few different occasions she has stopped Thor's hammer, just caught it in her bare hands and threw it back at him, or did whatever, threw it away. And like I said, she brings about Ragnarok, which is impressive that she's that powerful, and her dad is Loki, who is just a trickster god, which he's powerful in his own right, but he can't beat Thor. But yet Loki's daughter catches his hammer like it's nothing.
Right. My big issue with Hel is she's very brash.
Yeah, she's definitely the youngest of the gods in this fight, so that might play. Experience definitely plays a role in any fight. She could definitely overestimate her abilities or underestimate the others' abilities and get taken out as quickly as she rushes in.
But she does have warrior abilities as well. She's fought other gods and won. One of the few on this list that hasn't been killed by another god.
Yeah.
They can't. She actually just murders all of them. So.
Yep. As far as we could find, she's never lost a fight against another god.
No. All right. And the last one that we have is Yama or Yamaraja, also called Irma. It's the Hindu god of death in the Underworld. So with Yama, the information is kind of sporadic. It's mostly poems and epics. Not a lot of easily fact-checked information. He does use this staff as a weapon. It glows very bright. It says almost so bright you think it's going to incinerate itself. There were sections of the epic that I read where he would use this staff to basically take down an entire army of demons. But because of his power, the other gods tried to convince him they couldn't stop him. So they tried to convince him not to do it because
they're like, please don't don't kill all of them. Just
come on, bro, be cool. Because they were worried about the collateral damage just from him swinging his staff one time. Not only through an army of demons, but what would happen to everything else.
You're gonna kill that army of demons, but you're also gonna wipe out a quarter of the planet.
Right. He does have a lot of warrior abilities. He's very strong physically. Not necessarily magically, which could be a slight disadvantage, but definitely one of the strongest warriors, which I feel like is going to play a big role in the actual fight.
Plus, he got multiple arms.
Exactly. Multiple advantages. Hindu gods have different forms. He has a bull, ox type thing that he can ride, or a bird. We're not really going to use that because it would just be ridiculous, but
I can make a bird. Well, I can make a three-headed dog.
Let's just Poke battle.
And then, so basically, once we get this started, the scenario, just to put you guys in place of the scenario, we decided to make it where all the dominions of all the different regions there got slammed together. For this particular one, the Norse, Hindu, Greek, and Egyptian regions all got pushed together. And the kings of each of those respective regions, they're cool ruling all of it by themselves. But everybody else, they got to vie for the prize.
They have to fight it out.
We decided to make the Underworld ones. Zeus is a dick. He's probably the most dickish one out of all of the kings.
Mm-hmm.
So he'd be like, my brother Hades, he can fight for his spot first.
Yep. We've done this a couple different ways so far. This seems to be the one that's working the best, but we had a lot of fun with that part.
Yeah.
We did do like a general stat overview for each of the gods, just to put it in your mind where we think they would fall. So Osiris and Hades definitely tied for the highest amount of magical ability. I have Osiris as third and Hades as fourth for warrior skills. because they are both definitely at the bottom of the list. This is just the way that I put it. I don't know what you think.
I like Hades, but I don't think he's going to be able to stack up against some of the other ones.
Right. And then as far as Hell, magical abilities would be third. She's more of a warrior type. But I have her second as warrior type. A couple drawbacks for each of them. We'll get into that in a second. Yama, definitely ranked first as a warrior and dead last as magical abilities. But his biggest advantage is his melee and combat skills.
That staff.
Yeah. For Hell, the biggest drawback is she's overconfident, brash, unpredictable, doesn't really think through what she's doing. But I do have her as the most well-rounded warrior in the fight. Whereas Hades and Osiris pretty much have the exact same drawbacks. They are also the gods of justice and right, and they have compassion, which the other two really
They'll
lack.
fight honorably.
Yeah.
Where Hell won't give two shits to blast them all
Right.
to hell.
Like, hey, they're fighting. Let me go stab you in the back of the throat.
Mm-hmm.
Biggest advantage for Osiris is being able to rebirth himself. He is the god of rebirth. He comes back over and over and over. For Hades, his biggest advantage is experience. He's fought the most gods. He has lost, but he also helped defeat the Titans in the Titan War.
Yeah.
Which they are considered technically at the same level as other gods. So.
Yeah, none of the other gods we have in this fight have taken on a Titan class being.
Nope. Alright, so that looks about it for the overview. Let's get into the actual fight.
Yep, we're gonna get after this. We're gonna get into the actual debate of the fight. We're just gonna talk about how the fight's gonna go. We're gonna try to play the fight out for you because this one, I feel like we're gonna need to be more attention based. So we're going to basically talk through the whole fight with you guys and tell you what each of our opinions are. I can already give you a spoiler alert. We don't agree.
Yeah.
On the results.
This hasn't happened since our first video, and we were actually talking about this before we started shooting. We like it, and we hope you guys will get in on it and give us your opinions, because these are actually gods that people should know. So
yeah,
let's get some comments going.
Yeah, drop some comment. I know you guys are liking it and subbing, which we really, really appreciate. But feedback helps too.
Right. We need to know what you guys want to see, or else we're just going to keep doing random stuff until we get famous.
Yeah.
All right, I'm ready if you are.
Yep.
All right, let's go.
Hey guys.
What's up?
So, as you already heard, we're doing the Gods Battle Royale. Hades, Hell, Yama, and Osiris. And we've had this all planned out. We talked about it. And it's going to be a very interesting fight.
Right. We just kind of pick what sounds fun or what we'd like to watch and then go with it.
Yeah,
so,
we just picture it in our heads and like picture this. I can picture this fight in my head. It looks awesome.
Oh, that's great. For whatever reason, every time we film a video, I picture like out in the woods in the middle of nowhere. I don't know why. Just big trees and...
But they're not out in the woods.
I know, but that's what I picture. I don't know why. I picture the same fucking place every time we do a video.
They're not out in the woods. No. They get their own realm created just for these fights.
Yeah, we talked about it already.
So I think when the fight starts, we have them all placed in their little corners. And Hades, being the most experienced, he's not going to want to exhaust his strength starting out. So he's probably going to just summon hordes of undead zombie creatures and former old generals and warriors that have died over the time to fight for him. And he's definitely going to summon his pet. So
yeah.
Cerberus is definitely going to be on the battlefield.
I give the early part of the fight the advantage to Hades just because of that.
Right, he's got a giant dog, and he can probably summon the most, because the other Underworlds, it's like they run the Underworld, which is their version of Hell, but for Hades, everybody goes to him.
Yeah.
Even if they're good or bad, they go either to Tartarus or Elysian Fields. Everybody goes through Hades to decide where they go.
Right.
So Hades has the most resources.
Yeah. Plus, there's also the other mythological creatures, like from the Trials of Hercules, the Seven Trials, all of those.
Minotaurs.
The giant lion.
Gorgons.
Yeah. So he has all kinds of options.
He has the biggest army out of all of them.
That's why I give him the early advantage. But that also kind of goes the same way for Hell, because Hell doesn't only have dominion over one underworld. There are 7 realms that she has dominion over. So giants, basically
fire giants, ice giants, anything from the 7 realms for the Norse mythology, she could just summon.
Right, and
So-
one of the realms, what is it? They go to it in the second movie. It's a warrior realm. Everybody in the realm is a warrior, so when they die, it's just hordes of trained.
So she definitely
warriors.
has the second biggest army.
Yeah.
Osiris, unfortunately, he only has mummies because that in Egyptian mythology, you're just mummified, and when you come back, you're just a mummy. You're an undead corpse.
Slight magical potential there. I feel could balance a little bit.
Depending on the mummy,
Right.
I guess.
Yeah.
Like a priest or sorcerer that gets mummified, they would have their magical abilities
Right.
still.
I don't think that necessarily levels the playing field, but I think that keeps him alive just a little bit longer.
Keeps him in the fight.
Yeah.
Now Yama, on the other hand, we looked everywhere to try to be fair about it. Yama has no way to summon hordes of anything.
No.
So when this fight starts, you'll see Hell just kind of like open up these portals to the 7 different realms, and just enemies just start flooding out. Hades would just summon his dog, because you see his Cerberus pop up behind him, and he would just summon hordes of warriors to fight. Same thing with Osiris, he probably like slam his staff into the ground, you just see mummies come out of the ground, and then you just, typical thing you see in movies, just...
Yeah, just like a clash.
And Yama, unfortunately, since he doesn't have that ability, he would just kind of like look and be like, alright, pull his staff out and just go and just fight into the fight, because he is the most, I guess, one of the most aggressive ones out of the group, and he likes fighting, so...
One of the best warriors, so he does not go back down. He's just going to jump in the middle.
Right, he would just see that as like an opportunity for him to fight. So he would just charge in. He would be involved in the hordes. Now, what I see, since he's down there fighting, the other 3 who are kind of standing back, I think Hades would look at Hell and see her as, well, she's young. She doesn't know. She's not really worth my time right now. I need to deal with Osiris. So he would send Cerberus after Hell. So she would have to deal with a giant 3-headed dog, as well as her armies dealing with it. And Hades would probably go straight for Osiris. And I think it'd be, those 2 would be the most leveled in terms of fighting, because they both have honor, so it would be an honorable fight. And they both have the most experience of fighting other gods.
Yeah, I feel like they would clash perfectly. Definitely an interesting fight. With the hordes taking care of each other, they would pretty much have to rely on their magical abilities at that point. Hades has that Doom Bolt, whatever the hell that's called.
Yeah, kind of like the reverse version of Zeus's Master Bolt.
It's just death. Osiris, I think, would definitely hold his own for a while. Not quite as experienced with him being killed by gods already. I think that would play on him mentally.
Yeah, he'd be fighting Hades, but like, alright, it's another god, my type of dominion of god, I can deal with this, but then there's like that thing in the back of his head, like, you've already died by a god once, what if you slip up? What if you make a mistake?
That
what if you don't block?
Yeah, and I think that's what ultimately would maybe put him out first.
I think Hades could drop Osiris mainly because of that self-doubt Osiris would have. Like, they'd be fighting, they'd be going back and forth, and I think like Hades would be coming in for an attack, maybe with that like dual pitchfork attack, or maybe one of his like little death bolts. And as he's coming in for the attack, Osiris would be ready, and then that voice in the back of his head would make him second guess if he should block or dodge, and then he'd mess up and get hit, and possibly taken out. Right? But even if he wasn't taken out, he'd be injured, and then it would make it where inevitably he'd be taken out because now he's injured. So he's an injured Osiris versus a non-injured Hades.
Or one of the other 2, or anything.
Or Yama could jump in, or Hell. So I think Osiris would go down first.
Just because of his sense of honor, and Egyptian gods don't really fight.
Not really.
They don't have a lot of that. Like I said, with him being killed by his brother already, yes, he can revive, but it doesn't keep him alive forever.
No.
His actual death was his second death. So, yeah, I don't know. Even if he comes back, at this point he's wounded. He doesn't have time to recuperate because the fight hasn't stopped yet. I feel like he just gets overrun.
Well, plus it doesn't say he might not necessarily be able to resurrect right away.
Right.
It might be a process.
Right. But for the rules of this fight, 1 death is all you get.
Yeah, once you're out, you're out.
You're out.
So he would go down, and once he goes down, then he gets put in purgatory, because that's where we're going to put him. We're going to put him in purgatory if they lose until the fight's over.
We can't kill him because we don't know if we're done with him yet.
Yeah, we don't know.
Just because of their sheer matchup, I feel like that leaves Hades a little tired.
Yeah, he would be exhausted from fighting Osiris, because I feel like oh, this fight, we're kind of dwindling it, like shooting out all this different stuff, but this is over a period of time, because they are gods.
Yeah, they
and
don't
they
die
have
easily.
ridiculous stamina. So, two gods duking it out, especially at those calibers, Hades would be exhausted. He'd be tired. So after he dropped Osiris, he'd probably try to like kind of hang back.
Yeah, get behind his hordes and find a safe spot, catch his breath.
And I think once Osiris were to go down, if it's like most rulings of fights, Osiris would go down, and then the mummies would just disintegrate.
Okay.
Because
I didn't know we were doing that. We take his horde out. All right.
Well, if you think if it was his magical abilities that brought them,
that's true.
if he's not around,
They
there's
just
nothing
go
keeping
back.
them around.
Okay, I can get behind that.
Same thing with like Hades and his army and hell.
Right.
If there's nothing keeping the gates open for their armies to come out, then the gates shut.
They're done.
Then they can't fight no more.
Right.
That leaves us down to 3.
Yeah. I feel like around this point, with Hell having the more diversified horde, her horde would start to be pushing in.
Yeah, her Hell's army, so she's
Then she can summon.
Yeah. She'll have like fire giants, ice giants, all kind of stuff. Zombies really aren't gonna, and she can summon demons.
Yeah.
That's gonna give a distinct advantage against things.
At
I think
least
around this time, like when Hayes starts to take a break, we'll kind of like put him to the side and then cut over to what's going on while those two are fighting. I would think Yama would be conserving his strength because he knows he has 3 gathered gods he's got to fight, so he wouldn't be using any excessive amounts of energy to fight hordes that he could easily take out with that staff.
Yeah, I see him doing that too because he is one of the most vetted warriors. He's got a lot of experience as a fighter.
And he's fighting mostly undead things that don't really have mindset to have like warrior fighting tactics, which Yama would. So he would be the superior fighter in this area of horde fighting.
So he's kind of occupied at the moment. That leaves Hell.
Hell's fighting Cerberus, and I think honestly, Hell would beat. I don't have any doubt that Hell would beat Cerberus.
Oh yeah, a god versus a minion of darkness.
But
that's not how it's gonna lose.
I think Cerberus would get her at least once.
Maybe a good bite.
Get a bite on her, claw her.
Yeah.
I think she probably would get injured at least once by Cerberus before taking him down.
Right. Which I feel like that would make her angry because she's kind of hot tempered.
Yeah, she'd get pissed.
That puts her into her evil god form.
Yeah.
So she's ready to fight now.
Which I wonder. I would assume, because that's how it usually is when you summon minions and stuff. She would get angry, and whenever she would get angry, her demons and her giants, everything she summoned would get stronger.
Like a rallying cry.
Yeah. Which could play into Yama maybe getting injured or tired out more, because then the things he's fighting isn't harder to drop.
Harder to kill. I can get behind that. Yama's getting, at least tired.
Well, yeah, because within this whole time of Hades and Stars fighting, he's been fighting this horde.
Right.
And gods have immense stamina, but everyone gets tired eventually.
I feel around this part where it's coming down to they're going to have to start actually facing each other. Because you've got Hell's hordes, like I said, probably taking the lead on that
leading
point.
the minion fight against Hades' minions, because there's no longer mummies anywhere.
So Hades would have to start getting back into this fight at this point. I don't see him matching up well against either of the other two.
Who?
Hades matching up against
Probably
Yama or
not, because
Hell.
he's tired. He might even be injured by Osiris.
Yeah, he's at least exhausted. Maybe
I think
injured.
what would happen is Hades would see that his army's starting to be pushed back by Hell's army, and maybe as he's getting up to start getting into it, that's whenever Hell drops Cerberus. Yeah, she decapitates all 3 of his heads or something. She just and then whenever that happens, because Hades has a bigger form, like a more powerful form, and normally you see pictures and stuff, he just has like this black robe and stuff, but he has a, I guess, battle form, which is he full head to toe armor. Everything is armored.
Like the Elder God form, like when they fought in the Titan.
Yeah. So I think that would activate. That would just piss him off because they killed his pet. Which I don't know why he'd be mad. He could just resummon it. But
No, you get one death. We established that rule.
For the gods. Does that come for the minions too?
Yeah.
So you see Cerberus go down, and then he would just go head to toe, full armor, and probably go charging towards Hell. Would be mad.
Right.
And not really paying attention to the fact that he's probably tired at this point, maybe injured. I'm gonna say he's injured. We're just gonna no more maybes. He's injured. Osiris injured him during the fight.
Yeah.
He's tired and injured. Hell's injured too, but she's not really tired.
Right. Hades is very passionate.
Yeah. He's probably the most honorable and passionate of the four.
Right. So his pet go down. Yeah, he's pissed and he's going into a bad situation.
Mm-hmm. Not thinking clearly at that point. Even with all of his experience, he's just kind of like...
His judgment's clouded.
Yeah, he has clouded judgment. He just wanted to go in and avenge his fallen pet.
And then go back and put him back together.
Yeah.
I don't see him taking that fight, though.
No, I don't think... You know what I think might happen? I think, this is how I saw it. He would go charging towards Hell. They start fighting. Well, now they're both fighting. I think at this point, Yama would get a little irritated that this fight has been going on so long, and he has yet to actually be able to fight something worth his time.
Yeah, he's just breezing through.
So I think at this point, while they're fighting, he would use that staff and just wipe out whatever's left of the minion armies.
So then at this point, it comes down to the three of them.
The three gods would be left.
With two of them distracted.
Mm-hmm. So I think while Hades and Hell are fighting, Yama just wipes out the army and goes running straight towards, let's see, from the angle I see it, it's like Hell and Hades, and Yama's right here. Mm-hmm. So he goes charging around to take out Hell. And Hell, being a woman, and the slender she is, she's probably the most flexible and acrobatic of the four of them. So right as Yama's getting ready to hit her with that staff, Hell would just kind of anticipate it, or maybe have seen it while they were fighting, while her and Hades were fighting, and kind of backflip or jump over Yama.
Because visual effects, that's why.
Yeah, because it's got you got to picture this. It'd be cool to see just. And then probably nail Hades with that staff instead of Hell.
Yeah, and that staff is pretty powerful. Yeah. So
even if it didn't kill Hades or end it, it would definitely cause major amounts of damage. Mm-hmm. And I don't think Yama... I think... this is how I would see it. Yama go to hit Hell. Hell jumps. Yama hits Hades. Well, it's not that he would be stunned, but I think he'd be a little caught off guard with the fact that he hit the wrong person. It wasn't who he intended to hit. Because I think he would know that, or realize that Hell was the least amount injured. And the least exhausted. So wanting to hit her to drop her down to where him and Hades are. Yeah. And then when she dodged and he ended up hitting Hades, he'd be like, fuck. Yeah. That's not who I was aiming at.
Right. Now he's left with the most well-rested person and one of the stronger people left in the fight.
Well, I think also whenever he hits her,
or him,
then Hell gets a shot off on him.
Yeah.
Because she would jump and catch herself.
Right back into the fight.
And go in and maybe stab Yama or blast him or have one of her creatures, Ice Giant Hydra, and just hit him real hard. Mm-hmm. I think Hell will get a shot off on Yama.
At least create some space.
Yeah.
So they can square up.
And then Yama would get up, slightly injured, and definitely tired at this point because he's been fighting hordes upon hordes and demons and warriors and giants.
Using his ability.
And using his abilities.
Yeah. So, at this point, Hell has the advantage, and we definitely don't agree on how this ends, so we probably have two different versions. I could see it going either way, but I see Yama eventually taking it, just because of the amount of experience at fighting other gods and demons. I don't think there's necessarily enough left to tire him out that much.
Probably not.
You know what I mean? So he at least has his footing at this point. Yeah, he's been hit a couple times, but he's still one of the better warriors.
Well, I just changed my outcome of the fight just now. just from us playing this out.
Great. I have no idea how to finish the video now.
Alright, so we talked about Yama and Hell going at it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so they're going at it. And I think they'd probably injure each other, because being that they're younger than Hades and Osiris, it kind of be like Osiris and Hades fighting had been like more of a slow-paced fight.
Right.
But with Yama and Hell, I feel like it'd be more fast-paced on how they're fighting.
Yeah,
So
unleashed.
they'd be injuring each other because they're both in their full power forms, injuring each other. Like Yama hits Hell real hard with that staff. She gets injured, just says whatever, and hits him with the sword or something, and they just keep going back and forth. I think the 4 arms would play a part in him winning.
Right.
Like, she would go in for an attack, he would catch her arm. She'd go to hit him again, catch her other arm. Go to hit him with, like, her foot or a weapon, catch her with the other. Now he has this arm with the staff.
Right.
It just beat her, bludgeon her to death.
I like it.
And as he's doing this, he hits her, then she drops, okay? Right as he's about to finish her, she would just, like, unleash this burst, like, the last bit of energy she has, hitting Yama, which would do immense amounts of damage to him, but then his staff would still hit her. They're kind of like both hit each other, but her being more injured, it would take her out of the fight. And Yama would be immensely injured. You ready for the twist? Okay, so Yama injured. He gets up, looks around. He's like, I won. And then right as he's about to raise his staff, you see this pitchfork thing go through his chest. We said Yama hit Hades. We didn't say anything about dropping him.
True. And
Hades would be smart enough to maybe play dead.
Right.
And act like he's out.
Use his experience. That was tricky. That was clever. I don't hate it.
Like one of those things, you know, you've seen in like movies and stuff. Like the person you think won the fight, and they're like, "Yeah, I won," and then just out.
Yep.
Because he let his guard down. Like, he thought it was over. He thought it was over, so he wasn't on guard.
Victory! Not hating the idea. Really not.
See,
don't like being surprised, especially on camera.
See, the original take was he was behind Yama winning, which I could see Yama winning. I was kind of behind Hell winning, but as we were doing this fight, like I said, I was picturing in my head, and I pictured where Yama hits Hades, and Hades goes flying. Doesn't necessarily mean that it beat Hades, because Hades, remember, he was in his full armored form, so the armor would have taken the biggest part of the
damage.
Yeah. He still would have obviously got injured because of how powerful that staff is.
Right.
But the, like, primary blunt damage would have been damage into the armor.
Now I'm agreeing with you because he was hit, full armor, Helm of Darkness. He's not even a part of the fight. They can't see him.
Right. You get hit with that staff, get sent flying. Hades being one of the most experienced against other gods, and he used his helmet to help Zeus take out Kronos. So as soon as he gets hit, he would know the wherewithal to take that helmet, put it on. He's invisible. So as far as Hell and Yama are concerned, Hades got eliminated. It's just those two.
And that's why the fight wasn't over. That's a good ending.
You like that ending?
I kind of like it. I'll take that. But I'll offer up my own because I was thinking about it too after you fucked with the story. Put this together. None of the other ones involved in the fight can take the apocalypse and bring it to their dominion.
Yeah.
So when Hell is getting bludgeoned to death,
which is the part that he liked.
Right.
He liked the idea of like holding 3 parts of her body and just.
Right. I feel like at this point when she feels like she can't get the upper hand back, she summons Ragnarok.
She just activates it.
Doesn't matter that Hades is still alive. They're all dead. We kind of had to leave that out of the main part of the fight because that would have been really boring. Like, oh shit, gods. Here you go.
Ragnarok, I win.
Right? No. It was just a counter just because you did it and fucked with me. I could see Hades taking it. I'm okay with that because going into this video, I was really behind Hades or Osiris.
Yeah, he was definitely full team Osiris.
Yeah.
And then after we got research of the gods, then he was like, I kind of like Yama.
Right. It just kind of worked a little better for a fight, but I can see that. I can see it.
Experience winning out.
That's kind of why I took Yama, being the most experienced warrior, not exactly the most experienced god. Definitely foolhardy and would fight the hordes, but I like it.
Which him fighting the hordes is probably, in my opinion, is what cost him the fight.
Yeah.
He exhausted way too. See, it's not the fact that he couldn't have wiped out that army. I think he was having fun.
Right.
Fighting thousands, maybe millions of creatures. He was just enjoying himself, not realizing that he should have been saving more of that energy for the bigger problem.
And he does like to fight, but they do like stopping him from fighting.
Yeah.
Because he listens to, what is it, Brahma?
Brahma, I think maybe Vishnu.
Yeah,
there's like there's three top Hindu gods, and they're the only ones that can tell him what to do, and he'll listen.
And he listens. So.
Do you like that ending?
I like it. That's our opinions. That's a couple scenarios, the way we see it playing out. Yeah. Talk about it.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Drop some comments down there. Drop a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Try to, as we're telling you the fight, just kind of like close your eyes and picture the fight.
Yeah.
If you really picture it, it really looks really cool, in my opinion, on how the fight. It kind of looks like a movie playing out.
Yeah, like a Percy Jackson, but way better.
Yeah.
No, it's a lot of fun. We like doing these. You guys seem to like watching them. So, any suggestions, like I said, tell us. Help us out.
Yeah, comments.
Yeah.
They're down there.
We are trying.
They're under this video. Write stuff.
Yeah, let us know. If you don't like it, tell us you don't like it. We'll do something else.
Tell us, like, hey, this sucks.
Right.
We might not necessarily stop because other people do like it, but if you don't like it, give us ideas on how you would like it. And if anyone that watches this, that, like, know us, or even if you don't know, if you know us and you want to be in the video, we'll set up a time and you can sit, we can make room for another person to sit here.
We have a giant house.
Yeah, we can
in the middle
find
of
a
nowhere.
way.
We can make all the noise we want.
Yeah, we will figure it out.
Yeah.
So if you want to be in the videos, like maybe put your take on whatever the subject is we're talking about, feel free to like let us know and we'll find time to put you into it.
Hey, we talked about this last night while we were putting the original cut of the video together. Thinking about maybe eventually, not necessarily right now, but going back and retouching on some of the topics we've covered already, just because we've learned some new stuff, some of our opinions have changed. If you want to argue anything that we've debated on here, gladly defend our opinions. That could be fun.
Yeah, you can come over and have like a debate of a video.
Yeah.
Like well, I think Hell should have won. Well, why is that? Let's talk about
just talk it out. Yeah, we had a lot of fun, guys. Like I said, get a hold of us. We're on everything.
And if you're watching this and you don't know us in person, I have an idea for that, and I'll share that with you guys maybe in the next video or maybe a couple videos down the road if somebody wants to.
Right.
If somebody that you guys don't live around here but you want to maybe collab, let me know. Like I said, I got something planned, something that might work out.
Yeah.
And we'll figure it out. But until then, guys, we'll catch you in the next video. Later.
See you.
Alright, guys. So, there was our take on it. I definitely don't think Jordan was expecting Hades to win. Honestly, I wasn't at first either. I was definitely behind Hell winning, but had a better outcome. So, anyway, if you enjoyed the video, drop a like on it. Drop any comments you got down below. Follow us on our Facebook page, our Twitter, Snapchat. All those will be down in the description below. Just follow us, share us, help us get out there, guys. Any help is greatly appreciated. But until then, me and Pablo will catch you in the next one. Alright, guys. Stay safe.